I just want to say that this is maybe, one of several, let me just say the word term several times that we've had the pleasure to share some of our music with you, and we've always had a very lovely response uh, from you as a congregation. And we were especially pleased to be a part of the service this morning. This afternoon, we're going to sing a mixture of things for you. Our main bill of fare are spirituals and compositions by African American composers. And I think we led you astray, maybe potentially, this morning when both of our selections were non-African American compositions, but were things that we've taken a quick liking to. We're going to start our program this afternoon by opening with our traditional opening number, which is a setting of the Lord's Prayer by John W. Work of Fisk University several years ago. He was a wonderful African-American composer who did many fine anthems and larger works for his choir, as he was a choir conductor there. So this is Our Father. I failed to announce that the soloist for that song is Bob Patterson, one of my younger brothers. And he owes all of his talent to me. I don't know whether you have programs that have the detailed information in terms of whether of who the soloists are, what have you. Do you? No. Okay, then I'll be sure and make sure that you know who's singing. Our next number is by Nathaniel Dett. It's I'll Never Turn Back. I'll Never Turn Back is one of those songs that has, and particularly this arrangement, has been very much advocated and fostered and performed by HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, for probably a little over 100 years now. Nathaniel Dett was at Fisk University, and also Hampton University in Virginia. The solo parts in this are done by, there's only one solo part, I'm sorry, and that's done by Miss Bonnie Cowan Tucker, soprano. Thank you. Our next number is written by one of our former members of the chorale, who's been now in New York long enough to have a teaching career, a high school teaching career, a singing career, and become a very well-known and well-published composer, all in New York City. His special treatment of Steal Away the Old Spiritual, which has had a double message to it, at least two different messages, is one of our favorites, and I hope you'll like it as well. There's no solo in this. Our next selection is a song I became acquainted with when I was a young professor at Virginia State College back 50 years ago. It is Anyhow by a composer, woman by the name of LaRue Pittman. I've forgotten her first name now. Emmeline? Evelyn, thank you. Evelyn LaRue Pittman. Never saw another composition by her or an arrangement by her, but if she never did another, this one really was a home run for her. The solo in this is sung by Professor Emeritus Edith Lewis.
Kingdom.
This next one is also product of one of our former choralers, members of the Own Thing Chorale, who's now teaching in my old job at Southern University, where he's the choir master and the department chairperson, which I wasn't. Charles Lloyd, a name that I hope you'll hear much more of than you do currently. He's written just scads of spiritual solos, choral arrangements. He's even written a cantata, an oratorio, and an opera. He's originally from Toledo, Ohio, and went to school at the University of Michigan, where he got his master's degree. But he's been down at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for now about 25 years. His composition that we're going to do is Hush. No, it's My Lord, What a Morning. They've reversed the order on me. They say if you can't whip them or beat them, join them. So we're going to do Hush, Hush, Somebody's Calling My Name. And that's not by Charles Lloyd. That's by Brazil Denard. And Charles Lloyd. Sometimes I win. And there is a solo in this again. And is it by Edith? Yes.
Somebody's calling.
Now, I think we are going to do My Lord, What a Morning by the previously announced alumni of the Own Thing Chorale, Mr. Charles Lloyd, in collaboration with his former teacher, myself. Do we have a soloist in this morning? And this is for a change, Professor Emeritus Edith Lewis and Miss Elizabeth Weil, Ordinario Weil. Oh ho! So we do have two other soloists. They are Bob Patterson and Bernard Patterson, my other brother from the same mother. Listen, when I don't give them a chance to bow, there's separate applause I hear about afterwards. No, I'm kidding you. Just a little note on that song we just sung. It is commonly known as My Lord, What a Morning, but it really is What a Moaning, which ties in with the sermon this morning, you know, groaning and groaning. It really has to do with the foretelling of the end of time. So I wanted to make sure that you got that difference between mourning and moaning. Now, choir, what are we doing now? Total praise. This is our traditional ending, and this has, of course, gotten to be, in our churches all across the land, a favorite anthem. And we like it very well, too, but we try to do a little something special with it. Total praise.
To
had a request from the choir. In fact, I may say it was a demand from the choir that we do one encore. And that came from our trip in 2005 to South Africa. We had prepared Siyahamba to sing with several South African choirs while we were there for the 2-week trip. And we had so much fun with it that some of us can't get over it. So here's Siyahamba.
We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, marching, we are marching, marching, we are marching in the light of God. Siyahamba kuka yenkwenko, siyahamba kuka yenkwenko, siyahamba kuka yenkwenko, siyahamba kuka yenkwenko, yenkwenko, siyahamba, hamba siyahamba, hamba siyahamba kuka yenkwenko, yenkwenko, siyahamba, hamba siyahamba, hamba siyahamba kuka yenkwenko.
I know from the kind of response that you're very delighted about Professor Patterson and the Our Own Thing Chorale. Over the years, you have been here to bless us. We love you, we love the chorale, and we wish for it to continue. But on this side of earth, things happen. But we are hoping that one day soon, under the tree of life, we'll have Our Own Thing Chorale, and everybody in here will sing along. So God bless you, and God bless Our Own Thing.